Hello, I am Lydia Gerard, and today I will be presenting Eric Whitacre to you. Today we will learn about who Eric Whitacre is, where he grew up, and how he became who he is today. So let's get started. Eric Edward Whitacre was born January 2nd, 1970. He is 52 years old now, and yes, obviously he is still alive. He was born in Reno, Nevada, and basically grew up in Nevada all his life. He is a singer, conductor, and composer all in one, and very talented man. In his early life, he it built up to where he is today, and he did many things. One of the things that he did was he practiced piano. He did piano a lot, and he also performed in a high school band. He was also a part of a techno pop group, and I didn't know what a techno pop group was, and so I had to look it up. It is actually also termed as a synthopop or electropop, refers to rock genre built around synthesizer devices, and this will later lead to him in the future and that kind of helps him in that area too. In the beginning of Eric Whitacre's career, um, it all started in college. It didn't really start until college. It didn't really start at high school. So in college, he first went to Los Angeles University in Nevada, and he received his college master's at Juilliard School of Music, which is in New York City. It's a very big school in New York. He studied with many great composers. One of them was David Diamond, and that guy really influenced him a lot. Eric was inspired by Mozart's Requiem, stating that it changed his life to perform this particular song. He sang in the choir, and this song really changed his aspect on music and really started his career on wanting to compose things like that Requiem, like Mozart's work. What is Whitacre's genre now? Well, right now he writes like classical style works, and he is described as neo-impressionist and choral music within certain pieces. So, and just some examples of his pieces like Lux Oricum, or Lux Oricum, Orique. Still can't pronounce it. It's a Latin word. So, October and Sleep, and there's many more of his. What is choral and neo-impressionist? Neo-impressionist artists, like symbolist poets and composers, sought to evoke certain moods, feelings, and experiences through their work. Choral is a musical composition or part of one consisting or resembling a harmonized version of a simple stately hymn or tune. And a lot of his music, when you're listening to it, it makes you think of for me at least, it makes me think of like a Catholic church choir, which is pretty neat actually. Is Whitacre's style unique? Well, obviously not, and I'll show you why, but I would say to this generation specifically, like the Gen Z, I would say it's pretty unique because not a lot of us listen to his type of compositions. So I would say it's unique, but not compared to Haydn, who is from the classical era. The Heavens Are Telling is one of his choral pieces. Bach from the Baroque era, and Mozart, and also Beethoven, and there are so many more, especially from the classic and romantic eras, and a little bit from the Baroque era, of course, Bach being the biggest one. What brought Whitacre to fame? Well, actually, this Latin word that I can't say is this song actually brought him to fame specifically. And Whitacre was inspired by the idea of a virtual choir when he watched a video of a girl singing one of his pieces called Sleep. And this video actually brought him to tears. And he came upon the idea of what if we got 50 more people like her and combined all their videos into one, creating a choir. They all started the same tempo and the same key, and we started all the videos at the same time. And eventually this would create the virtual choir idea. The virtual choir actually So we're going to talk about what this word, the Lux Aurum means, and it is a Christmas piece based on a Latin poem of the same name, which translates as light, warm, and heavy as pure gold, and the angels sing softly to the newborn babe. And actually, the album that it's in is titled Light of Gold, or Light and Gold. Which is really cool because I thought it really relates to that song. So his first virtual choir was back in March of 2010, way before virtual really became a thing, and he had 185 singers. And since then, since 2010, he has created 5 more virtual choirs. And the 6th virtual choir was actually done around the COVID years. And of course, you know, everybody went virtual during COVID. It was kind of crazy. You know, everybody knows about COVID, lockdown, whatnot. And so it was really, he was really able to bring people together because of COVID, because everyone was using virtual for everything. And so his 6th virtual choir, he was able to have over 17,000 singers, which is a lot. And I'm going to play this video for you so that you can just hear what it sounds like. But I think it's really cool. Okay, so that's just is a little bit a taste of his music and what it really sounds like. I encourage you to listen to the rest of that video, but it's actually really cool. So, another one of his pieces is called October, and if you didn't know, October is one of my favorite months, mainly because my birthday is in that month, but it's actually also one of Eric Whitacre's favorite months as well. So why is it called October, though? Eric Whitacre composed October with the intention of evoking a peaceful musical representation of the month. He has called his favorite, of course, and the feelings of this month evoke for him. So that's really neat. So what does this composition remind you of? Well, for me, it reminds me, of course, of October reminds me of wet mornings with the many leaves on the ground, you know, and the cold wind rushing through you. And so let's hear this piece, and you might be able to hear kind of my opinion on that. So it really starts to get majestic in those pieces, and it's absolutely beautiful. So October is why do I like this piece? I really like how everything flows together just like one book. It's absolutely beautiful. When asked about the orchestral music and what he took differently, he combined all these different people and he really liked adding all this, and he he says, I feel more like I'm learning the cloak of another composer, but I don't say that with any self-deprecation. I think there is a great honor in learning that way, to get inside and figure out what a great composer. So his achievements, awards, what he considers one of his great achievements is receiving the Grammy Award for his best choral performance in 2012, which was of course for his virtual choir. Fun facts about Whitaker: he was actually in Pirates of the Caribbean when he was one of the writers of Mermaids. He was also a choir teacher for about a year for 4th through 12th graders, and he said that it was very difficult actually, and this really allowed him to look up to other teachers. He also built his own website, and that techno pop group really helped him with that kind of inspiration. And then just some people that impacted Whitaker. There were so many people that impacted him, but I'm just going to read Hans Zimmer for you. He said, what I really learned from Hans is that he values and protects his creativity. He really honors that part of him. What is Eric Whitaker working on now, and what are his goals? Well, he is currently a visiting composer at Pembroke College at Cambridge University. He recently completed his second term as artist in residency with the Los Angeles Masters Choral. He says he would love to grow more and do more work in films and work with Peter Gabriel and Paul McCartney. What did I like about Eric Whitaker? Well, I loved all his songs and how his songs just correlate with the classical and romantic era. I really enjoy that his compositions and his pieces are very unique to this generation. That's what makes him stand out. I really enjoyed his style of music. I know that his style definitely isn't what I personally listen to on a daily basis. But that's what I really enjoyed learning about him, and I thought he was super neat and interesting. So here are my references. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation on Eric Edward Whitaker.